IVM.
You're listening to Wordy Wordpecker, Extraordinary Stories of Ordinary Words with Rachel Lopez. Here's a word you're familiar with. You've probably crunched one as a child, you've dunked one into your tea, you've given a box of it as a gift, or you may have baked some yourself, in which case I'd like to try some too. We're looking at the origins of the term biscuit. It's straightforward enough. Biscuit has Latin roots. It comes from biscotum, which means twice cooked. Biscuits are basically first baked, then dried out slowly in an oven, which is why they're harder and crumblier than, say, a cake. And that's why they're biscuits. But across Europe, the recipes have differed, and that's where the problem starts. By the Middle Ages, the English word biscuit meant any hard twice-baked food. The French, however, their neighbors, used it mostly for dessert. Up north, the Scots were baking little cakes by the 1700s, but they were calling them cookies. And the Dutch borrowed the term cookies as well. This would have been fine, but the trouble started when all the Europeans started moving west into colonial North America. That's where what was once a different country, a different culture, a different language, a different way of looking at things became one big white melting pot. All the meanings started to overlap, they even started to clash. And here's where we stand today. If you're in the UK, a biscuit is a sweet food, and in America, that same food is called a cookie. In the US, a biscuit is mostly a savory. It's a small fluffy bread. You can use it to mop up gravy and bacon. But in the UK, if you're going to do that, you're going to call it a scone. In Italy, biscotti are specific kinds of biscuits. They're hard, they're oblong, they have almonds, they're not very sweet, and you have them basically with a coffee. In the East, crackers are flat, rice-based crispies in savory flavors. In India, cookie just means a heavier, more expensive biscuit. Are you confused as yet? Let's give you one more. In Gujarati or Rajasthani food, you even get a small biscuit bhakri. It's a tiny round wheat bread that comes drizzled with desi ghee. You can dunk it in dal, but you can also have it in tea, so it's sweet and savory. I think you are twice baked now, so I'm gonna stop. This was Wordy Wordpecker. If you liked this show, you can listen to other fantastic podcasts on the IVM Podcast app and on our website, ivmpodcasts.com, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Don't forget to follow IVM Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram. And you can reach out to me on Twitter at Greater Bombay and hit me up with your favorite words.
Shunyavan, 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 Shunyavan.
$1 billion acquisition. Another copycat startup got formed.
No, the tech world in India is surely moving double the speed of this voiceover.
Tune in to Shunya One every Tuesday to catch us talking to the smartest people we know on the IVM Podcast website, app, or wherever you get your podcast from.
Give me a word. या कोई भी लाइन. कुछ भी हो सकता है यार. क्या कहा आपने? टोपी. Okay. Mohan Joshi hated wearing topis. He felt suffocated in them. टोपी पहनते ही उसे स्कूल की याद आती थी. Where of course he had no choice but to wear a टोपी. But जिस दिन पास आउट हुआ, उसी दिन उसने अपनी टोपी का bonfire बना दिया. And since then, he'd never worn a cap or a hat. ना कड़कती धूप में, and not even to बचो from the ठंडी. But from Monday 26th February, Mohan Joshi had to wear a topi all the time. Why? Because if he didn't, everyone around him knew exactly वो क्या सोच रहा था. They knew that he was wondering how the girl in the yellow churidar would look बिना कपड़े के. They knew when he was calling the boss a सड़ेला टमाटर. They knew everything. पर ये सब हुआ कैसे? अरे भाई, यही तो स्टोरी है. और ये स्टोरी आप ही ने मुझे दिया by giving me the starting word. यही तो है The Croc's Tales. Words आपके, कहानी आपके लिए. Catch the stories on Monday and Thursday on the IVM website, app, and anywhere you get your podcast from. See you soon.